think the desk makes perfect sense. If X10 wants a chance in this series, they have to win this map.
Yeah, exactly, and perfect timing, right? Because historically, we think back to Shopify. They've had the slower starts. I'm looking straight at KP. The desk was mentioning the breach, the new comp. Mimi mentioned that yesterday, there was a lot of unknowns. Today, we know what to expect. They're looking straight at Sonder. They want to set her up for success, have her thrive in those chaotic moments. So we'll see. And look at that, Benz. A frenzy. You'll love to see it. A frenzy on Saunders' back. We'll see exactly what she's wanting to do. It does look like Shopify, they're very congregated towards the C and garage area.
Yeah, on the other end too, Baby TZ has her own frenzy as well. And we'll have to keep in mind about that matchup that Mimi was talking about, that Muffin and Sonder. What's going to happen in KP with this breach? How much value is this going to bring into the series? As right now for X10 on the pistol round are starting in the attack, and a very quick hit onto C. Something different from their game before. And the first blood is that frenzy. Make that in a second in favor of X10 as the spike goes down on the C site.
Yeah, 2 members just already dead. Not a lick of damage. A lot of util still here left up for X10. This paint shell's just got to do a lot in combo. Oh, and it just gets taken out.
It's going to be a flash nade. That's going to do a bit of damage here to Alyssa. Nice breach fault line as we push back out, but the crossfire is still very good for X10 as they get the pistol round versus Shopify.
There was a moment, Vans. Look at the damage done.
So
Alyssa
much.
barely just
So
limping
much.
across. I like the combo coming through here for Sonder and KP. Absolutely valiant efforts, but man, Flowerful didn't even get a lick of damage before. She was just so blind. Beautiful utility coming out here for X10. And again, so decisive, and you love to see it to start out round 1 on pistol, to come out with this much confidence if you're X10.
Oh yeah, and even look at the positioning of that coming out. One of them wasn't hit by that fault line, and it's that investment of the frenzy that actually helped X10 to get the first kill and the last into the round. So good job here for Baby TZ. A gun round coming in for X10 into this one here. And you're looking on the side of SR. A full save, a shorty in the hands of Benina, and are actually gambling for these stacks because, again, we wanted to talk about yesterday's game. X10 has hit that A site quite a few times.
They have, and you know, as they should, right? They had so much success with this slow default, very calculated. And
correct.
SR looks like they're reading this round pretty well, and of course, Benita's got that shorty in hand. These shotguns for the side of Shopify have been pretty deadly all week long, so X10 fully awares of this. I'd be surprised if they even go sniffing, and Alyssa does. She's got the spike. This could get dangerous.
Exactly.
Let's use some utility.
So it's going to be the Trailblazer fault line combo. Trying to push forward, but Alyssa's going to be able to get that kill. The nades come down to get a couple, and Lori goes to the right-click classic to get the kill into the A site. We're still converging into here. We're committing into the site for X10, and finally, as we dwindle down in numbers, back to a 2 versus 2, we tuck tail and try to move back and rotate all over towards the C site.
Not a single bit of utility left for Shopify, but they're just going to stick in numbers. And X10, they haven't slowed down. They're just booking it. They realize they've got to catch up. I'll be interested to see if they plant for the spawn side or if they plant for long C, and they do choose to decide to take over this spawn area.
10 seconds
really important to solidify this post plant here.
That is actually great awareness from X10. They still had that trapwire, or should I say the trademark, to watch the flank, so they plant for a spawn, knowing that it now gets broken. There's at least one flanking for Shopify Rebellion. With the flash coming out, there's information. There was still a star to delay from Pauly, as the 2 players from Lauren and KP from Shopify have picked up weapons. The first contact in favor of Baby TZ, and not even needed for the swing from Pauly. Baby TZ holds it down for the second round.
Good recovery, a very much needed recovery for X10. It would have been absolutely devastating to lose out this eco to just 4 classics and 1 shorty. Beautiful work for Shopify. Absolutely, you're satisfied if you're on that side of things. And if you're X10, you're coming into this bonus with a lot less money, a lot of decisions to make. These bonuses are so tough, fans.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everyone's money is just all out of whack. We'll see if X10 decide to invest heavily and fully into it. And they don't. It will be a pure bonus.
Couple of stingers, so going with these half buys for those that actually lost their weapons on the second round in the favor, in the corner of X10 rather. Knife and Trailblazer to clear out towards Garage. This is going to be a fast C hit. Flowerful trying to spray through the wall that was set up by Muffin. As X10 are still moving inside the site. Yeah, a little bit of delay with the flashes coming through, but it seems like the plan's going to be quite easy.
Yeah, this is going to be a full 5-on-5 retake. There's going to be so much utility coming through. Sky setting up Sonder to retake this garage control and power positions here for X10. This fault line is going to be everything for Shopify.
Utility's getting broken, so there's no information really coming out from Shopify Rebellion. You already see KP setting up for that fault line. It's a fault line flash, nade as well, just to clear out towards default. The crossfire is still really good. And who again than Baby TZ? And everybody's dropping like flies for Shopify Rebellion. Benita by herself, and Benita's gonna join everybody else as a beautiful bonus round. Pulse plan for X10 comes in their favor.
The stingers, Vans, close range.
Woo.
It's so strong, and X10 absolutely capitalized. Perfect positioning to be able to utilize that weaponry. And man, again, Shopify, they had the utility to be able to make space and get in, but it seems like X10, they are just so decisive in getting into the C site. The next time around, Shopify, they're going to have to put up a much better defense and not give up this site.
Yeah, and the idea was great for Shopify, knowing that there was a lower buy for X10, that they were going to play inside the site. They did try to use a lot of utility to try to clear that out, but again, it's just a further positioning just on the edges of Long C that really helps out X10 in these post plan situations. And around, once again, 124 left on the clock, where it's that signature move here for X10. Just wait and spawn for a bit, try to catch your opponents off guard. Baby TZ is going to be one that's going to be jump peeking towards mid, but there's no pressure coming out from Shopify.
This time around, X10 does not want to mess around with that A main area. Bonita took this timing to go ahead and get a lot of space. The Sheriff, oh, not good for it. Just gets taken out, and X10, they've been decisive when getting into the C site.
Ball line's
Beautiful
really
timing.
good. Yeah, nice by KP, but it gets immediately traded out. So worst comes to worst, we still get into the site for X10 and a plant. Still have a weapon advantage where we can salvage the rifle that was left behind. Paulie's going to watch that flank. Gets traded out. And Lori, when she picks up this weapon, it's only a Marshall for now. And it's not going to come into fruition for any kills. Another nice round for X10 as they're taking a lead by 4. This, to me, Christine, is unexpected, to be honest.
It's a very slow start for Shopify. It's something we've been seeing all week long. They've absolutely got to dig deep here. The ultimates are coming online right in the nick of time for Lori and Sonder. A lot of stopping power for that side, and they're going to need it. Look at Ginny. KO ultimate online, that usually means one thing, Vans. They're going to want to exec, and X10 has shown us they're not shying away from just going into those sites here.
Yeah, and even one away from Baby TZ and Alyssa. Maybe an opportunity to try to go for orbs if they want to use Seekers of their own. But at least for the beginning of this round, it's going to stay slow a bit. A little bit of a change from Shopify Rebellion, though.
Yeah, I like this aggression. Sonder, she doesn't want to just sit around and wait any longer. Going sniffing down in mid, that bird, that info coming out from Alyssa is going to allow X10 to understand that something funky is going on in this mid. They don't want to mess with it quite yet. And it does seem like X10 are leaning into that slower, more methodical default to start things off here.
Yep.
Sandra, man, if she gets that one clean kill, reacts immediately with a showstopper.
And that's the crazy part. The Trailblazer came out to get her information from Lori, and they spot players in spawn. That's just the regular stuff that X10 do. They get no new information out of that. And there's that KO ultimate that you're talking about. The null command coming out from Ginny, and the full exec from X10 into an open A site. But this change that you have for Shopify Rebellion, this is one of those moments where it could work really, really well for the retake.
Absolutely. This A retake should look a lot cleaner than it has over at C. That fault line coming out from KP this time in tandem with the showstopper should result in some frags.
Getting ready as well for nades. Seekers, Showstopper is about to come out from Heaven 2. The nade's going to contact onto Alyssa. That's the combination with KP. And the rocket lands on 2. Only one more to go, and that's Paulie. And a prime gaming fall is coming up from Shopify Rebellion. We talked about clean, and that's how you want to start things off for your first round for Shopify.
Exactly. Not only is it a feel-good round, you get some money in the bank as well. You start to cheer each other on, and that's exactly what Shopify needed to regain their composure. For X10 side of things, it's a fair trade. It's a fair trade getting into the site, and you're telling each other, hey, they used 2 ults, guys. Good job, we got the spike down. And to boot, they've got 3 ultimates coming online as well to just respond right after here in round 7.
But the Prime Gaming Flawless allows that economy to get built up for Shopify Rebellion as well, so they can go into full utility, full rifles, and also a cycled ultimate. This time, KP ready with a Rolling Thunder. Another opportunity for them to play a retake site for a next 10 team that continuously hits this A site right now.
Some more aggression coming out for Shopify. Sonder, love her positioning here, tucked. KP is quite far away, but that fault line should be able to reach in that free front B site and the short A.
It's a great call, actually, because that's where also
Beautiful.
Saunders at with the nades.
What a pick.
Flash catches information towards long two, but as that pick falls down from Pauly, that means that there's no smokes to try to execute towards the A side, so Heaven could be easier for the defenders to pick off, so X10 will choose to cut noise, pull back, and see how they want to retake this opportunity in this site.
This regress in short A is so dangerous. Baby TZ absolutely ready for that one. Saunders in such a ratty spot. Oh, just punished.
Almost felt like it hit the pinky. But that said, Saunders stuck inside sewers. Here's that pinch. Rolling Thunder a little bit too late to save her opponents from KP. Now the flash comes out. KP wants to be aggressive. She wants to make a play, but it only blinds one player. Only one left with Bonita on the rotate. Unfortunately, couldn't come in to help and support KP, and that's X10 that fights back.
Yeah, slightly late to the trigger is KP. She absolutely wanted to show up just a couple of seconds later, but we mentioned it, right? She was more towards that garage earlier than later, so Shopify, what a shot coming out here for Baby TZ though. X10 were absolutely aware of that reaggress. We've seen Shopify doing it 2 times now in this first half, and Baby TZ absolutely capitalizing.
With that pick from that Sky on sewers, she kind of wished she cut her nails that day, because that hit the fingertip for that pick.
It certainly did, and X10 back towards this garage control very early this time. Changing up the pace. This is looking very much like that pistol.
Exactly. Going into the KO knife to the Trailblazer, but there's no opposition in the backside. There's only Bonita, and that's just beautiful relay bolts coming out from Muffin too. That just stumbles any type of defense, any type of holds, any type of anchoring that you're trying to do for Shopify Rebellion. But we're trying to change the pace for the retakes. We're going in quick. Cosmic Divide's already out. Flash is already through. But unfortunately, caught with the utility in their hands. Muffin lands with 2, and Neverbit just drops once again for Shopify.
Muffin is having a lot of fun in the server right now, man. She did not let go of W from the moment she went into garage. And that's what we're seeing so far from X10. They're so decisive. And another C hit that completely catches Shopify Rebellion off guard. They're gonna need an answer, and they're gonna need it now. They haven't had any sort of a defense here on this C site from pistol up until now.
And now it seems as though this is gonna potentially even force a timeout. I think it'll be a great moment to call it here for Shopify Rebellion. And you're playing this game for X10 where it's like, oh, we're gonna try to go really quickly towards the A site, then play the slow default. I talked about this, about trying to mix things up for X10 to hit these sites. And now it just keeps Shopify Rebellion guessing all the time. There's no real answer to it so far.
Yes, and that's such a good point because we just saw it in action. Perfectly done, conditioned from round 1 till now. They were slowing it down. You mentioned that anti-eco, the default, very slow, punishing any sort of pushes, then that quick change of pace, really catching Shopify off guard.
Yeah, and we just saw a glimpse there of Rob Wiz, legend in the scene in a tactical FPS, and even back then in like the early days of competitive gaming, putting in, trying to figure out what X10 has been doing and maybe find a way where we could maybe punish this slow default towards spawn when X10 wants to use that in their book.
Yeah, and we saw Bonita pushing down with that Sheriff on that eco round. Maybe here they're going to want to try to insert the chamber, insert the Astra into that long C cubby, get a little bit more forward duels instead of these backwards on the XX. But we'll see how Shopify decide to adjust. Here, they're broke. Just a couple stingers, a couple upgraded pistols, and for X10, fully aware of the money, they're gonna be calculated here. Oh,
a rare miss from Flowerful, and the idea was there, the fault line to put in position and to potentially get a pick out in the open. But already that makes the call for X10 to just rush into the A site. A couple of pistols are coming to work in this mixed buy that we have for Shopify Rebellion, but that's just going to stop the bleeding from there. Muffin continuing her reign in these heavy hits on either A or C, and if it's not on her, it's also Baby TZ that's able to do a great job. And unfortunately here, Bonita in another situation where she's by herself, and she's going to try to go for at least salvage a weapon, do some econ damage, but the money is looking really good for X10 as well.
They are ballin'. Absolutely ballin'. Muffin playing this absolutely disciplined. They shouldn't give Bonita any chance here. Okay, all good. She does get taken out. And another decisive execute coming out here for X10. Shopify, that timeout was exactly for this gun round coming in.
And it almost feels like it's like a green light for X10. Get a pick onto the A side. Usually there's like 2 players there. They know they're going to play the numbers advantage on like a 4v1. If it's a C site, it's a split. There's an anchor so far from Shopify Rebellion with only 1 player. They're never hitting B because it seems as though they're just comfortably winning their duels on top of that.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like X10 can do whatever they want at this point. Muffin is just choosing whichever way she wants that utility. Flowerful wants a second chance at this duel. Has an operator in hand, and both chambers barely just missing.
Wallbang, though, that actually did hit Flowerful, but thankfully Lori's there to save her with a little bit of a heal. And same thing onto BBTZ, actually. Both of them actually did get the wallbang.
Nice little, at least a little bit of damage.
Yeah.
And X10. At least they're not going A 8 times in a row, but it does seem like X10 really are favoring this A site.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of A main control, and even take a look at Shopify. Because of that, the chamber trip isn't even... There's 3 defenders at A site along with the chamber trip.
And look at the second guessing here from Shopify Rebellion. Nobody's pushing down like you'd called here, Christine. They don't know if they have to rotate back to support, do a quicker rotate, and you're forfeited Garage, you're forfeited C site.
Yeah, and Lori, she just sent that bird down long A. No information was seen, so you can see some movements coming out, and look at that C site. It's completely open, not a single defender on there.
30 seconds left.
That's the full utility. All 4 stars put down here from Pauly. We disrupt the site. We have the gravity wells in the back, the concuss towards the logs, and then it's going to be free for X10.
These posts have been so brutal for Shopify. These retakes haven't even been close. This time around, not a single ultimate available. They've got to get these frags.
Null Command activated as soon as the aftershock came out from KP, and indeed Benita does get the headshot into BBTZ, so at least the flankers is taken care of, but Pauly and Alyssa inside the site, answered back by Flowerful, looking for another shot, not going to work. Now it's Benita once again, stopped by Pauly, and the Null Command just did not allow any of the utility from Shopify Rebellion for the retake.
This time it was closer.
Yes,
this time
agreed,
there was movements, at least Shopify were able to actually get close into that site, and it was all thanks to the flank coming out for Benita this time. At least some map movements coming out across on the defense. We've said they needed that info, they got it, and it was closer this time around. But man, X10, they are completely dominating this first half so far.
Is there any type of silver lining here? Usually we're looking at, you know, my regular ranked games, it's usually attacker side, but I mean, just in terms of the chemistry we have for X10, it's just too clean, and we'll just talk about the action right away. Benita finally gets first blood for the team for Shopify Rebellion, and that forces now X10 to fall back. This was a full stack from Shopify with this eco that they had.
Yeah, it looks like Baby TZ doesn't want to just give up this frag quite yet, Benita. Beautiful smoke to allow her to recross here.
Yeah. They want to save the, not allow Shopify Rebellion to pick up the Vandal.
She wants it, though. We'll see who's more patient.
Just got spotted here, and that allows, look at that, the repositioning of X10 to slowly move back up towards this C site. But this push, finally, we're talking about it. It might go along that they could get the backstab, but there's still this trademark that's going to be able to watch the flank.
Yeah.
Sauna ready with the shorty just around the corner, and a showstopper as well.
As soon as Lori realizes there's nothing behind, oh boy. This is so tense! The little barrel just barely showing through, but the fault line is huge!
Flank's about to come around, though, and it's being watched. What great awareness by Baby TZ. A flash coming out from Garage, so they know that Lori's there, but she lands the headshot. Pauly now by herself, long range, Flowerful connects with the Headhunter, and finally a round that comes in for Shopify Rebellion off a lower buy.
And that was off the back of actually fighting for the C site, right? Look, It took 3 defenders to actually do it, but you only had pistols, and we're seeing Shopify this time. They took the duels, it was long range, but they were at least shooting their guns back. So a beautiful thrifty, and it couldn't have come at a more perfect time, right?
Yep.
I mean, this half was absolutely starting to get out of hand. We'll see if Shopify are able to string things together, because whenever Muffin has that Neon ultimate online, X10 are very aggressive.
And I just love the fact that X10 on that round decided to play contact to move up towards the C side instead. Most of their hits in terms of these later rounds have been, hey, let's use utility, where KP was ready for a fault line. They had a showstopper around the corner from Sonder that could probably pick a lot into long C. And now this allows Shopify Rebellion to carry it over into this next round, where X10, well, look at that. Same thing, trying to see if they could punish some players pushing aggressively out from Shopify Rebellion.
Alyssa threw a bird out mid. See if Sonder was going to come down sniffing again. They were able to re-clear it, so that just signifies that they can slow this down once again. And all that timing, X10, they lost this line of sight in A main, so they've got to re-clear everything, expend some utility. These sound cues should alert Shopify.
And from one small change and a little bit of utility from the Seekers, that pushes the Opper from Powerful down towards long C. Will we commit, though, towards the A side for X10? Big nade, big damage. Trying to come in with a showstopper, but KP with 2 kills holding towards the sewers. That with the spike down is on a 5 versus 2 in favor of Shopify. Nice little swing out here from Pauly. Answered back by Baby TZ onto Benita. She's by her lonesome, unfortunately, overpowered and overwhelmed by utility. And that's finally a 3rd round in for Shopify.
And that's finally us seeing Shopify Rebellion absolutely capitalizing and being rewarded for those set plays, those set pieces. The utility finally paying off hugely for KP specifically. I mean, so many times we've seen her using that fault line, using these flashes in combination with that paint shell. And it was just so close, but no cigar. This time around, in this A defense, paying off in dividends.
So this time the timeout coming out on the other end here, Christine. So for X10, I mean, they've had control of the whole first half, but now you're starting to see, as you mentioned, Shopify Rebellion starting to fight back a bit, so maybe that grasp isn't as tight anymore into this lead.
Well, they want to secure this last, so I do appreciate the timeout coming into it. It seems like they're fast. That pistol C split,
yeah,
they haven't lost. It looked so easy, so clean. So maybe they want to throw some mind games in and throw a quick fake, but make it look like that pistol. There's a lot of options for X10. This whole half, they've been conditioning Shopify. So right now, the coach, he's probably having a lot of fun thinking about whatever theory crafting he wants to do.
I agree with that, actually. Maybe a fake from the Seekers to try to hit towards the other side of the sites. Or I also like, at least from Shopify Rebellion from that previous round, you mentioned a little bit of a repositioning from the chamber instead of playing towards A, pushing up towards C. And Flowerful was all the way down towards that bottom C, where you don't have too much utility coming out from X10 to try to re-clear that area. So maybe we got to figure that out too when it comes to these hits. How do you want to re-hit towards the C site? But I don't know if we're sitting towards spawn right now, or because of all of these ultimates that we have for X10, will we try to go towards B?
We'll see if Baby TZ does a little bit more than just slow peeking into this mid this time. And Sonder is right there on the other side of things. Beautiful shot from Flowerful. Oh. There's a trade.
Answered right back. 1 TP'd away of 4 versus 4 Seekers immediately out. And seems to be committed for a bit into this C split, but the Rolling Thunder comes out from KP just to slow things down for a bit. And that also puts X10 back at their feet, planting their feet on the ground towards mid and trying to reassess the map.
You can see KP really wanted to capitalize off that ultimate that she threw in mid. Maybe the communications were that the B players also push, but regardless, it doesn't work out. And X10, they're making this A site hit happen. Look at this blink coming through for Ginny.
Exactly. The call from Ginny to tell the whole team to rotate towards the A site. The wall comes up with Cosmic Divide for the head, but Flowerful, too aware, turns back towards the A-Link and gets the pick onto Ginny. Meanwhile, though, look at that. We actually did have a smoke onto the trademark, so we might not know that we have 2 flankers from Shopify Rebellion on this retake. Pauly's holding it towards sewers on the top. The rolling shot to the fault line comes out, but Pauly gets the first kill. 2 other players pushing in towards spawn for the retake. A 3 versus 2.
No.
Alyssa lines up 2, but it's a 1v1. Alyssa in the back of the site, looking to get the 3rd into the round, and a last frag for the win in the half, and it's going to happen. She gets it, and X10 put 9 into the half.
That was so close for Benita. This time, the double flanks, they split up. I was questioning it, Vans, but either way, Benita almost is able to convert. But what a statement coming out here for X10 in the first half.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part, too. When it comes down to players actually losing the flanks. I mean, they're always aware here for X10, but you always have big fraggers into not only Muffin for the whole half, but Alyssa had those moments. Yeah, she maybe hasn't been fragging as much, right? She's currently 5-8-5, but also playing a Skye to assist her teammates, to enable Muffin to get these kills, but she did a great job here. But with that, I mean, it's a 9-3 curse, maybe. Let's see what the Death has to say. Has it been domination from X10 so far, GB?
You know, from my point of view, I think it has been, Vansili. X10 look absolutely stunning in this first half, Mimi.
It's fantastic work out of them. Shopify came in with a new composition. They changed things up. No more Sage. They should be fantastic on these retakes, but despite that, consistently, X10 was getting into the site, getting these spikes down, and winning in fantastic post plants.
Their positioning on the post plant was just so good, and it starts in this bonus round, right? They're able to convert it, and the positioning of their players, it's like they're playing with 7 players on this site. Notice this, 4 players can see the players leaving towards CT, and 3 with Alyssa's positioning to the left side of default can swing off of Garage, and you have 3 players there. So it's literally like you have a 2-player numbers advantage. It's insane, and it just meant that Shopify could do nothing.
Yeah, and this is against the rifles of Shopify. On top of that, you had your Astra player towards long, holding down that flank until she realized, hey, there's no more timing possible. So comes to the site, and it's every single member of X10 there to hold down. Excellent work out of them in their post plants, but Shopify did show some life.
Yeah, that's right. They did. And it's nice to see them try and bring it back in. You made a great point. Like, KP, she figures it out right at the end, but it's like a little bit... you want to get that a little bit earlier. And the problem is that you have players like Muffin that cause those problems for them to have to figure it out.
Yeah, that's the thing. KP started to figure it out at the end, but the individual players for X10 were just performing so well. That was a fantastic half out of Muffin.
Muffin was looking insane, just again on that snowball agent flying forward with the team. The support was there as well.
And as we look towards the second half, it has to be Muffin again for X10. Both her and Baby TZ have been taking over in this game, but similar to how Shopify invests in Sonder, X10 invests in Muffin to make these forward plays and get them the space on that defense.
Yeah, but now we're going to be flipping sides over here, so let's see what Shopify decides to cook up, because Ender, at this point, like, you have to be concerned about Rebellion here.
Look, KP has to come out with a good idea to kick things off on the attacking side. It looked a little bit stagnant for a few rounds just yesterday. They got to get creative, and they've got to unlock it fast.
This is Sonder's side, though. This is where she has 2 initiators to set her up. She was great here on Vine. Let's see what she can do here on defense of Haven.
Couldn't agree more, team. All right, well, let's go ahead and send it back over to the casters and see how this next half is going to unfold.
Thank you so much to our friends at the desk, and yeah, I am actually questioning that as well. Muffin has been a star player for X10 on this first half, Christine, and will this be an impact on how they're playing the defense?
Yeah, I think so, absolutely. She should just pick up right where she left off, right? Absolutely on one right now. And for Muffin on that Neon defense, you know, you usually don't think of a Neon being a good defense agent, but specifically on Haven, you're going to want to see her in this forward position, controlling this A main. Those stuns in this little room are so strong, and you're seeing that happen right now. Muffin, she's going for more.
And KP's low on HP. Nate's coming back on the other end, but Saunders answers back right away. And Muffin's also low on HP. And for Shopify Rebellion, they want to maybe try to fight back into the choke point, but most importantly, to salvage that spike.
Yeah, Polly is in such a power position, hearing all these sound cues, and Baby TZ right there to help her out. Shopify, they're under so much pressure.
I did not expect this from X10 to be so aggressive outside the push. And now the roles have been reversed. Garage is open. Shopify Rebellion moves inside the C site and also is planning for spawn.
You can see Flowerpool has a lot of positioning here. This post is not too shabby for Shopify. That knife should allow a lot of information for X10. They realize nothing is in the site.
Huge information. High gear available. Gravity well coming out from Benita. That's going to delay for a bit. Not even a halfway, but they go for the double hold into the back spawn. Information on the second one. Low HP onto Muffin, but Benita cannot clutch that 3v1. And that's a huge piss around for X10 to continue this momentum on Haven.
Again, X10 so decisive. That first round pistol, that fast C-split now coming on. And it seems like X10, they are just absolutely utilizing their kit almost to perfection. We talked about the win conditions of Neon. Boom, right away. Muffin, she's not going to shy away from that A main control.
Yeah. It's a beautiful relay bolt that she had followed, like that was following the Trailblazer around the corner from Melissa. So knowing from that information of where that Trailblazer is coming in, okay, there's one on the left, there's one still playing towards the window. You can aim that relay bolt to get the maximum value out of it and not just go for a blind relay. And into this round, looks like for Shopify Rebellion, it's a full force into C.
Yeah, they don't want to give X10-11. Saunders so aggressive. A lot of ground, C site completely given up. And you can see both members of X10, Astra and Chamber, they want to control this garage, and Shopify going to take the fight to them.
They flash another one on the top of the window, the
What a
aftershock
drill.
too because of that. Yep, a great drill from a fault line, concussed, nothing that we could do. And this full force buy that's coming in here for Shopify Rebellion looks perfect. Only one ally left for Ginny. She gets double flanked on that pinch into the seaside pulse plant. And Shopify, they get success out of the force.
Yeah, this has been kind of the funny storyline for Shopify as well. If I think back yesterday on Bind, it seems like these simple, just in-your-face strats have been a nice breather for Shopify. They're able to convert these simple, fast rounds.
Yeah.
We'll see if they're able to do it on an actual gun round here. A healthy purchase. Finally, I mean, this is signs of life, at least for Shopify. They will be able to control the economy from here on out. Hopefully, keep X10's money down in the dumps so that they can start to really chip away and make this comeback a reality.
Now we have a free piece of utility that was used by Ginny that gets a lot of information that Shopify Rebellion wants to try to go quickly once again, but this time towards the A side. And we're not letting go of the pace. And yeah, we saw that little boom bot. Vacuumed up Ginny as she falls. A little bit of damage being done by X10. 2 kills, not too bad. Damage as well onto Lori. Well, we'll take those. We'll take those.
We will take those. If you're Ginny, you don't want to take those, but it's all good. The boom bots can be a little bit possessed sometimes. We've seen it happen before. But it's all good. I mean, Shopify, again, it's just an eco round, but being able to have an eco round be as clean as that, it's got to mean a lot if you're down 3-10 going into the second half. So every little bit counts. And Saunder, we're looking straight at her, one away from that showstopper. And you can see 4 members of Shopify very much near this A main area. Early Boombot and Bird.
Looks like we want to end this now, Christine, for X10. A big investment, and now it's been heard. An operator invested into Baby TZ as
KB
a lot of
missed
them
it.
are on low HP,
The timing
low
here.
armor.
The fact that that chamber trip was right there alerted Saunder right off the rip. That could have been devastating, but Polly is going to find her luck at timing as well.
Oof. This is not going to look too good here for X10. Like I said, they wanted to invest a lot into this round, wanted to shut it down right away, but definitely got punished on that aggressive push down towards window at mid, and that's definitely going to be the call. As they heard the operator for Shopify Rebellion, will they try to hunt it down?
They should. There's so much time left on the spike. Any second now, Shopify, the communication should be coming through. It's a little bit too quiet. It does feel like X10 are saving, so I wouldn't be surprised to see hunting down, and Lori's going. She's just going for it. She's just solo going for it. Okay.
A little bit a silver lining here for X10, as it seems as though at least for the rest of this round where the spike's going to go off, the last 2 players will be able to salvage this operator and the Vandal in the hands of Ginny. But that's going to tell a lot here for Shopify Rebellion. Knowing that this op came out very early, they have to try to figure out where BBTZ is going to position herself here on the future rounds.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Baby TZ maybe going towards that long C. We saw that sniffing coming down front B with the lower weaponry. This time it could be that operator in hand. I'd like to see Muffin getting that A main control just like on that pistol. I thought that was absolutely X10's win condition. But you can see Baby TZ, she wants to go for that A main control.
And which is why everybody else
Everyone's
is pulling
shifting.
back. Exactly.
Yep.
Because at the beginning in that piss round, it was exactly those 3 players, Muffin, Alyssa, and Ginny. And they're going to try to use this towards middle on forcing around this Vandal, and the operator was kept behind. Baby TZ will be the first contact as she's waiting around the corner, and she's too far from her TP.
And Saunder looked like she wanted to paint shell, but she decides to hold on to it. Baby TZ, this timing could be so deadly! Saunder, how do you hit that?
With the headshot on top of that. But because of the 3-player push at the beginning of the round, The trigger discipline and then the crossfire to allow 3 kills to come in for X10 and the spike down. Seeker's already out. Benita's close, trying to punish at least Muffin onto Bunny. Half blind, the swing out, could not connect onto Ginny. With the spike still down and the last Seeker still chasing, that is a nightmare once again for Shopify.
Oh man, Flowerful. The jig is up. X10, they understand that this flank is coming. Flowerful has been so close in so many clutches for Shopify's side. A lot of time left on the clock. Spike right in front of her, but 3 insane headshots have to come here.
Yeah, but the good news is that it's all individual battles, and here's the first. Connects onto Alyssa. 30 seconds left, plenty of time to pick up the spike, but now as the spike icon disappears from the POV of the last 2 players, you know she's close. Double swing out from Polly and Ginny, and they put 11 on the board.
What a round coming out here for X10, and it all started with Baby TZ just kind of getting clotheslined, right? And it looked so hectic and so dangerous. Sonder, I hope we can get a replay of that tap. There it is. But somehow, some way, that walk down mid, right? Even with the lower weaponry, just completely catches Shopify off guard.
With that, though, that pick that they got from Sonder onto BBTZ will not allow for any operators to be salvaged. It was dropped so far behind into A-Long. This round, breaking the doors very early for Shopify. That was Benita spraying it across, and a knife gets thrown down to get information there. Yeah, she's going to get a little bit of damage out of that one, and also no TPs to be able to get away. That broke it. But from that knife that we saw was a push here from X10 down towards along C.
Yeah, Baby TZ has some help in Ginny just arriving. These jellies, these cabbages is being such an issue.
Rolling Thunder on top of that. We're clearing out the A site. Time to play the retake now for X10. What do we have here? Basically an overdrive. Couple of flashes that could maybe help.
4 players left. This drill coming out from KP is going to be such an issue. X10, they've got to bait it out. Otherwise, this retake is going to be near impossible.
Muffin's waiting for the call. First flash to get info, relay bolt. There is that aftershot that gets thrown right away from the beginning. Trailblazers already been wasted. Nice little jump out from Muffin with the first kill, but then full blind. Nice util by Lori as we push towards the spawn. What a nice post plant hold by Shopify.
Clean kills there for KP as well. And that drill, man. Breach in that post plant under that hell, it's such a nuisance.
Oh, yeah.
But X10, they did identify it. I mean, that retake was in action.
Side 2 isolating with the walls coming out from the Neon to make sure she could drop down and just try to have that 1v1 in hell and not get sprayed from graffiti.
Yeah, I'd like to see Baby TZ have a little bit of help from the beginning at that A site. Somebody to start with her to break the dart, break the boombot, break whatever utility Shopify sending your way, and then leave her. Because too many times now we've seen these boombots at that A site just having fun, having their way. So we'll see if any adjustments come out. The adjustment is Muffin. She wants some frags.
Oh yeah, but she gets popped out by Benita inside the spawn, and we're trying to answer back. Meanwhile, for Shopify Rebellion, pushing it inside the C site. That's how they wanted to answer, going for full aggression with a hero rifle off the back of Ginny.
Oh,
they do 2 damage onto that one too, so that could salvage a second weapon onto Alyssa. Null command also available on a 3 versus 2 for Shopify.
Oh, this timing for Benita, just barely making it past Alyssa. And Ginny all alone. Such a powerful spot from Sonder. This timing this round is insane, Vance.
Oh, yeah. And she just snuck through. They're pinging towards the spawn.
Oh.
For Shopify in that drop. Will it get heard? So far, no reactions from that breach. But Benita comes up towards long C. Easy peek. And just like that, into the second half. We've only spread the lead now by 3 rounds for X10.
Yeah, this is the perfect timing for a timeout. I think X10, they've got to stop this momentum. Shopify gets so dangerous in these moments, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been seeing it all week long. No matter what the score line is at the halftime, something happens for the squad going into the second. I mean, they get this new second wind, and all of a sudden, they just look like completely different players than that of the first.
Yeah. And even when we're looking at trying to digest a little bit how X10's been playing that defense, aggression towards the A long when they're using that Sky with the Neon and the KO. If not, lots of pushes down towards B. But what does Shopify really do from there? And realizing that pressure, they always run into an open C side split if they wanted to. So how do you change this around now with this timeout from X10?
Like I said, I think Baby TZ needs a little bit more help towards that A. There was just too much information and too much pressure, even though it was just one boom bot, right?
fair.
So need somebody to hold Chamber's hand in the beginning of the round, break the utility, so that Chamber can just be a little bit more loose and keep the attackers guessing, right? You don't know how many defenders are left there. Is it 2, is it 3, or is it just Baby TZ alone? So that's something Shopify are going to be finding out, and for X10, it's on them to keep them guessing.
I like that call because sometimes when you're looking at like that default meta where with this composition from Shopify Rebellion, instead of a breach, you have a haunt. Sometimes you want to throw a haunt into sewers so that you could get that that information towards the A side. So you need a second player on defense to break that haunt so the Chamber could get the positioning, which is very similar against this boom bot. But for this round, X10 looking to play aggro once again. We talked about those 3 players towards A long. It happens, but the difference here is that push down towards long C, where we're about to have a head-to-head between Baby TZ and Benita.
Oh, she saw the barrel.
gun. Easy kill.
Oh boy, easy peasy, Baby TZ capitalizing. That was close.
I love it.
Sandra
I
and
love
Lori
it.
also following up, and it's collapsing all in front of X10's eyes.
Always losing control of Garage from the aggression again. Just not getting enough Garage grass control, and Shopify Rebellion realizing the pushes from the extremities. Let's just go down the middle, and now it's an open A site where they're going to plant.
Baby TZ left just kind of scratching her head, wondering what the heck just happened. Seems like there were duels all across the board. And aggression, Shopify, I like that. Right after the timeout, you know, you think both squads are like, okay, look, we're trying hard now.
Yeah.
We got our try-hard pants. We're going to take every round as thorough as possible. But Shopify say, nah, we're getting in your face. Screw the high percentages. We're just dueling.
Yeah. And KP, the hype player for the team for Shopify Rebellion. Benita with the experience. Trailing behind 9-3 is really nothing for a team like Shopify, and experience of the coach of Rob Wiz. You'll be able to have that pep talk of, okay, we've got one round, let's take it one run at a time, and they've done these comebacks before. And for X10 now, Baby TZ, the silver lining is being able to save this Vandal also allows for them to maybe work around that and the tour de force that she has this round here.
Yeah, I think she used it in the last,
Oh,
unfortunately.
yeah, you're right, you're right. I forgot about that.
She's just got the Vandal. She does have a little bit extra cash, so this is another tough decision if you're X10, right? You don't want to give away one more round to close that gap, but looks like X10 are deciding to go
Okay.
with a half buy, a little quasi buy, and that's fair, right? You want to be able to get that operator in Baby TZ's hands, and if you look at those credits, that's exactly what they're planning for in round 22.
We talked about grass control. This time it's a hit from the team, but
Oh,
all
the
in
little
towards the
head.
grass. Yeah, nobody spots it. Muffin's damaged, and we're doing a lot of pressure from X10. Flash to initiate, but the smoke also does not allow to get any players flash. We fight back towards grass. We're falling down for X10 though, and finally Baby
What?
TZ, that hero rifle comes out, and then a close range with the Sheriff on the head of Lori. But the spike, it's stuck in spawn, forcing out the Rolling Thunder. It's a 2v2. It doesn't hit anybody. And Benita's on that flank all the way from grass. Oh no, no more bullets left. And now it's a 1 versus 1. KP is running away.
She knows Baby TZ is hot on her heels. She's gonna try to make it fast to spawn. She's got the fault line coming right up, and Baby TZ, she's playing it safe. She doesn't realize that she's already in the site. Oh, what a hectic start. Now it's just come down to a 1v1.
KP has no idea.
Oh, she saw her.
Now here, we'll see what happens with KP. Still looking towards, oh,
Jeez.
what a pick by KP! Looking back towards Long C, the reaction time to get the headshot onto Baby TZ. She stays around for Shopify Rebellion because that could have been a dangerous change in momentum for X10.
It could have been disaster, absolute disaster. X10 are just thriving in these moments, and thankfully, Sandra was able to drop that paint shell down, buy it just a little bit more time,
Great
do a
call.
little bit of splash damage, but my goodness, X10 hot on Shopify's heels here. Healthy buy, that operator finally on the table here for Baby TZ, and they're going back to what was kind of working. Long C aggression.
A little bit of a trade-off of flash, relay bolts, great utility from both ends. It's a chess match, and we come out with a draw.
Baby TZ all alone here on the A site. Benita inching forward. Oh, this duel.
So close.
It's such an off angle as well.
Might not be expected, and now she gets into the range of her TP. BBTZ is weighing down right now. On the other end, though, here comes the Cosmic Divide, and it's actually the Flash that dies, and the Spike committed to a second kill, doesn't work out. BBTZ gets punished by Fireful, and it gives a chance for SR to plant.
And this Astral Wall you spoke of should allow that plant to go through. 3 versus 3. And 2 flashes on the back of Ginny. They're gonna go fast. Muffin, she wants to go. That suck is huge.
And Saunders at the graffiti. Cosmic Divide coming out from X10 as well. Big flash, that's a cue to push out. Trade off, but in favor of Shopify.
Wow.
They keep it alive. Time to make your wish of who's gonna win, because we're tied up 11-11.
Man, and it's so tricky when you're the Astra. Do you use that suck to be able to delay that retake, or do you use it to take the enemy off the spike, right? Benita already in the site decides to use it to buy a little bit more time, and it comes right in the nick of time. Muffin, that's exactly where she thrives. Again, Baby TZ finding this opening in that off angle was so huge for X10.
The wise words of Tarek when every time he's doing these watch parties. We got a game in our hands.
Now we got a game on our hands.
True. And with that, X10, they still are relentless. Another 3-player push out towards C. But a force buy coming in. We got Bulldogs, we got a Vandal. And this pressure that they had before towards mid, it worked out, but the Seekers is going to give a lot of info. Same thing, countering out towards this A side, but we're now filtering Shopify Rebellion towards the C side. The difference, 2 players playing inside Garage for X10.
Oh, Flowerful going right into a trap, but she still gets away with 1. At least Baby TZ is able to trade, but Shopify, they're in the C site, and this quick flank, oh. But thankfully for Shopify, they're bringing the squad.
Half blind, 2 players. KP with a counter flash if needed from the top C.
Oh.
Unfortunately, Bulldog bites onto both Benita and Lori. KP trying to just slow down that clock while this re-push is coming out from BBTZ towards Garage. She's moving up right now, looking to get that pick up to KP. The flash a little bit too late, gets the kill full blinded. Sonnen now stuck at logs by herself. Satchel to come out, but the retake comes in, and X10 are now at that point. I love the Aya. I love the Aya.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked and I'm gasping for air. That's gonna burn. That's gonna hurt if you're Shopify. That was a 4v4 post. They had the utility to be able to stop them at bay, but X10 are so damn fearless. All of these retakes and the rounds that they've won, again, just not letting go of W, and they fully believe in each other. They swing for each other, and they trade each other, and it results in a round win on the board.
And that's one thing that the community, also the APAC fans, are giving a lot of credit into X10's playstyle. If it's not for the slow play to try to play into the minds of your opponents, at least the fundamentals of being able to trade with your teammates. You don't always have to use that utility to get the perfect flash to go for the swing for the kill. Just play your numbers, and you see that. Muffin's the first contact. There's already 2 players behind her ready for the trades.
Yeah, you love to see it. Power in numbers, and you know, you always feel good. Even if you don't get any frags and you see that you set up your teammate, a nice little alley-oop. You say, hey, were they blind? Yup. Nice little assist. Things of that nature. But, man, I don't even... It feels like Shopify in this timeout, there's just got to be so much to discuss.
Oh, yeah.
So many... I mean, and it's tricky. Do you try to fix your mistakes with only 1 round left, or do you just pull out that one curveball strat that you've been saving for this exact moment on Haven? We'll see. I mean, they've got the ultimates to work with. The Showstopper up online. KP with that Breach ultimate.
It almost
this
looks
is
like,
for everything.
Exactly. And it almost looks like they want to fight towards the A aggression coming out from X10. Got the Boombot already lined up to look down towards the sewers. Here comes that flash to come out. But that Rolling Thunder could be huge here. And that could punish this push coming out from X10.
A lot of utility being traded back and forth. KP.
That's nice.
Oh, the paint shell over the wall.
That is so nice. And now the Showstopper to come out too. Long range connects. Muffin is down. And Ginny is going to have to try to hold the site by herself. Moving down towards the sewers where Flowerful is about to go head-to-head against her. Meanwhile, though, being pinched. BBTZ to support from behind. Gets the kill with the Tour de Force and moving forward with her teammate. It's a 4 versus 2. Does not connect it to the last one. And Pauly will have to try to clutch. Spike yet to be planted. but we still get the kill for KP. We fight back, and we're going into overtime.
What a huge frag coming out from Flowerful down in that short A. I tell you what, if Baby TZ got that frag, that was 100% game on for X10 to be able to convert and retake and close this one out. So pivotal frag coming out here for Flowerful, and man, this A main contestation right now, I love this look for Sonder.
Yeah.
In conjunction with that, with KP fault lining towards that A, that paint shell over the wall, I did not see that coming at all.
And to look at the counter utility that was coming out, at least from X10, to try to survive that was a beautiful neon wall that came up so that they could actually try to get away as much as they could. But I feel that was maybe a mishap of not being able to understand that KP did have that Rolling Thunder ready that they could fight back with. So maybe that could be the jitters of the elimination matchup. But all that doesn't matter anymore. We are into this overtime. We have started things off here, and X10 are back on the attack.
And they're back to what was working. This is looking like that pistol once again. Sonder, she's bit. Oh, but thankfully
Nice.
Benita following up with that utility to help Sonder out, have that stopping power. But X10, they're not slowing down.
That's a grab nade to stop things off before, but the re-hit
Oh,
comes in,
jeez.
running through the wall. 2 kills from Sonder. It's Sondering time as Muffin answers back, though. From the grave. Paint
From
shell
the
kills
grave.
onto Baby TZ. Player advantage coming out here for Shopify.
That spike is down in a peculiar spot. Well, not too peculiar. Muffin's able to just quickly snag that one.
Interesting. The plan for a spawn, the fall line immediately out. Low HP is going to be Muffin, and yeah, these trades are coming out, and the swings are perfect. Shopify Rebellion in the lead when they were struggling on the defense for so long in that first half.
Yeah, and it's all thanks to Sonder. It's all thanks to Sonder. I mean, even from the grave, getting one more frag with that paint shell was everything. But more so than that, Shopify, they fought this time around. All half long on their defense. They didn't put up that sort of defense on C site, not once. So this time, finally, it's paying off, at least in OT.
What answer can we have now for X10? The tides have turned. We thought it was going to be X10 getting this map in the bag with how confident they looked here on this first half. But on this defense, the continuous pushes they currently have is not panning out, and seems like this time it's going to be a change.
Yeah, I think that's a good response coming out. It does look like Muffin wants to re-aggress down this long C. When you see a Sky and a Neon together, that's usually what that means. Trip in front B, so X10 should have a good idea of a B hit if it comes.
Relay Bolt actually did punish onto Benita. Can they get this kill onto
Oh,
Long?
that's
No!
huge!
Nice picks from Benita on the top of the boxes. And that just opens up the B side. Thankfully, though, Silver Lining, Pauly answers back. That's also no stars on the post plan for the attack.
And again, Sonder in such a power position, always pushing
This push.
forward. This crossfire should be so deadly for X10.
And it works out. Gravity Well then comes out. Satchel not allowing Ginny to push out. She goes for the on-hand throw. Saunders
Oh,
full blind.
no.
Ginny does get the kill onto Lori. It's a 2 versus 1. Make that even 1. Somehow, it's back to a doable situation for X10. Forced now to pick up onto the defuse. It's now at halfway. Off the spike. Gets the kill. Ginny gets the clutch. And we're going into a second OT.
That is incredible. Ginny just somehow slipping past that timing between Ginny and Sonder. The fact that Lori accidentally blinded Sonder and she's able to slip past into that A-Link. I mean, this crossfire, you should have never been able to survive if you're Ginny here. 2 players, Sonder and Spawn, another in A-Link. That, I'm not sure what we just watched. I don't know how Shopify were able to lose that one, but X10... That's incredible.
I think it came down to heroic plays, right? Those pushes that we had, the answers back from Pauly. KP knew that she was flanking back or rotating back towards the ceiling, still loses that fight. And now in those OT moments, it's the heroic plays that really shines and helps the team move forward. And now we switch things around. X10 back onto the attack. And Shopify Rebellion, at the beginning of this round, stacked so many players towards the A side expecting that. It's not going to work out.
Really like this C-split. It's on, game on. They've already got garage control.
But Benita's in the smoke. This could be very dangerous right now, right after. Relay Bolt's going to stun KP.
Huge stun.
Benita made it inside the cubby. Oh, we're pinching in. She gets the first kill, but it's gonna get a pinch towards the back. And the last 3 players of Shopify Rebellion are at the spawn. Flowerful and Lori fighting back though, a 2 versus 2, a flash to blind.
Wow.
A 2 versus 1, and Lori solo on HP at 10. Nothing left in terms of utility, can't even heal herself. It's a perfect position now. Nice tap, but it gets answered back. A nice back and forth coming out from X10. And the tides have turned once again.
Such back and forth rounds coming out. Alyssa almost getting the better, but Lori, that flick, man, that flick onto Asha was so huge. Alyssa barely with any HP. What a doable round coming out here. And I mean, X10, it's very simple and very straightforward so far. At least the last 8 rounds have been for X10, right? Whether you're on the defense or whether you're on the attack, they are just beelining it straight on for that A main control or this C split. And most of the time, it's working. And if it's not working, it's creating so much pressure onto Shopify that they're having to adjust and maybe not stick to their own game plan and just react in those moments. So a lot of pressure coming out here for X10.
Well, now the pressure is going to be even heavier now for Shopify Rebellion as they're behind by 1 round in this second overtime. Calling out the timeout, trying to figure out what they could do at this point. I'll give a chance to say, hey, how are you guys doing here in the chat, in the audience? What's up?
A lot to talk about. At least you got money, right? It's OT. I mean, sometimes these OTs, especially when you start getting to the 3rd, 4th ones, it can get pretty hazy.
Yeah, and that's a crazy part. You talk about money, and yeah, you may have a lot, but maybe not in the hands of Baby TZ.
Baby TZ.
This is a gamble, a glass cannon off into this round on defense.
Yeah, this time she does have the assistance in Ginny, so that should allow her to not take all her HP away from a single boombot this time. So we'll see if she's good for this shot, because Shopify, they're over in this A main area early.
And that boombot's already going out, but you can't have that KO to support, so it is going to try to track down that
So
chamber
aggressive.
in the corner. Meanwhile, yes, the quick push towards the C, trying to counter and answer back for Shopify Rebellion. They're going to decide to push back towards this A site. X10 has all of this information. Battle towards the spawn. Benita cuts that on the first kill, but it gets immediately traded out by Alyssa. More pinch coming in, and Shopify Rebellion deciding to push back and try to fight back against that single flanker.
Huge for Alyssa to get away with her life here. It almost seemed like X10 were just corralling Shopify. They wanted Shopify to commit into that A site. Thankfully, Alyssa is able to get one and fall back, and it's just going to keep Shopify left wondering who's flanking, how many are flanking. So they decide to get into the A site.
Good, both satchels already used, a flash and a fault line, so everything's on cooldown for both initiators. And Baby TZ lands a beautiful shot onto Sonder. Another player down for Shopify Rebellion as the disadvantage now falls upon them.
And this triple flank coming out is going to be so deadly. The line of sight here for Flowerful, she's able to just tuck so many flashes.
But a 1v1 towards Sewers. Luri at least makes it 2 players now flanking, and she wants to hold that W. And now we're fighting towards the cubby of the A-Long. Flowerful continues her job, and unfortunately it doesn't work out. A triple flank that comes down to a null. Back to Baby TZ in a 2 versus 1. The tap onto the spike, but it gets heard. Does not get that shot onto Luri. Couldn't make it a 1 versus 1. And we might have a long series in our hands now, Christine.
We absolutely might. And, you know, it's tough, right? Triple flank, usually it can catch you off guard, but that means that Baby TZ, she's got to now slow it down, right? She can't go quite as fast. And when you're in that site, in that post, and you're supposed to be under pressure, you're supposed to start hearing that retake going on in heaven or in spawn. And if you don't hear anything, it's a little bit too weird. So definitely for Shopify, they understood that spawn was safe. They put all their focus onto that flank, and they're able to secure that post. But man, again, Shopify, they're taking a page out of X10's book. Look at this aggression.
Oh, Polly almost had that timing, and as she walks away, gets spotted by Sonder. Meanwhile, though, on the A side, Muffin opens up towards A. They'd had a different change of pace to just have that Neon go into the cubby first to avoid some utility if there. But Flower falls on the top of the box of Sewers. It's good for 1 and the information for the team. Rotate comes back from Shopify Rebellion. It's not going to be a flank. So that trip is going to help a lot for X10 to just focus back towards spawn.
KP, full set of utility. Expect her to set up Sonder for some frags here. Flash is coming out and a fault line.
Counter flashes through as well. A suck on the
Beautiful.
ground. Showstopper out. One more to go in sewers. And that's BBTC on the left side. Cubby goes for the TP, so they know that she's there. One sticking onto the spike.
Wow.
Sonder goes for the satchel, then on to the Vandal for the kill. And Shopify Rebellion are back in the lead.
Love to see it when Razes use that satchel
Yep.
for that exact moment. Right around the corner and just crosshair displace. I think I love those better than just those double satchel fast showstopper plays. It's just such a feels bad if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
the player that gets bumped up. But man, decisive. I think the last 3 round bans in this OT have looked identical
Yeah.
to both squads, right?
Yep.
Fast towards garage, then getting pushed around to C, and the defenders pushing long C and corralling them into that A hit. So we'll see what this one looks like, but it's looking pretty similar once again.
Yeah, this time towards the ace side, there's also a grab. Well, we're going very aggro now. First kill onto Muffin, really bold onto the left side. Sonder, who made it already towards sewers, but it's being watched and lined
Wow.
up. They got caught into the door trying to go through the wall of neon. And unless let Muffin fall, they get punished for that. Ginny's stuck in the corner. Elisa gets traded out. It's a 3 versus 2. Everything else is open, and SR are falling back to C.
Yeah, and Baby TZ and Polly both just completely rotated, over-rotated. Shopify, I think they heard that sound cue. They're just beelining it back towards the C. And I like this adjustment coming up for Baby TZ. Instead of just following them back directly into garage, they're retaking in the C link.
This is so hard to retake.
So
No
many
stars
sound
available.
cues.
Exactly. This is all hurt here. Everybody could focus towards
Yeesh.
spawn. And look at that utility that's still around. Polly gets the first kill as they're going with
Wait
the
a
fundamentals
minute.
once again. Flashes all around from both initiators. This looks really good for Shopify Rebellion to win this in OT.